Good morning, Service Lines community. How y'all doing today? Happy Monday. What's up, brother Doug? How you doing, man?
Good morning, my friend. Happy Father's Day.
Yeah, you as well.
Yeah.
I knew what you meant. I knew where you're going.
It's Monday after vacation, so I'm a little rusty right now about thinking, talking, or being with people. Good morning, Adam.
Yeah, the thinking, the talking, the walking. It's difficult today. And we're bringing a great topic to you. Talking about focus. The two most unfocused at the moment. Bringing the topic of focus.
That's
Should be fun.
I know. Hey, it's always good to have non-experts in the moment talking about something like this, right? So
it's true.
We are all works in progress, hence Saul, right? Saul is a work in progress. That's myself.
Look who has a Connecticut tan. Oh, buddy.
I had to go. Listen, New Hampshire is north of us, and so the water is. Sometimes you'll catch an iceberg floating by the beach up there, and water's like not above 60. And yeah, we picked a great week, some nice cloudy weather, and maybe a little bit of rain. So when we had the 1.5 days of sun, we were just like soaking it up. But yeah, I can tan quick. Maybe I'm related to you, Saul.
He was confused last week. He's like, "Wait, Connecticut has a beach somewhere?" Like,
I
don't think that's where he's going to the beach. But
yeah, well, compared to Saul's beach, no, yeah, yeah. Oh. Our beaches aren't your beaches. But.
Our beaches aren't anyone's beaches. We have the beach at Lake Michigan, but a little sketch. Yeah. Little sketch.
Yeah. You want to step in that water?
No, not with Gary, Indiana, directly across the way. Just
mass production and yeah.
Steel mills dumping into Lake Michigan. So. Yeah, no, it's gonna be a good topic today. We are talking focus. One of the things, the rumblings that we are hearing through the groups, is, oh my gosh, what am I supposed to do? There's no business. The world is falling. The sky is falling. It's not. It's not.
Wow. I resent your tone slightly because I've had a few seconds of that feeling. So
I've been there myself. I've been there myself. I've been there myself. That's why I did it. That was my whining from when I was in those moments.
You know, the busy season to me is like the sun rising and setting. One day it may not, right? It's unlikely it's tomorrow. So I know we're going to have one, but we are rolling into August right now, aren't we? It's not come yet, but it's going to be fine. But yeah, you're right. It can get us unsettled. It can get us off focus. So it's a great topic for the week.
See, Adam, up there in Wisconsin, he's got the nicer side of Lake Michigan. We got Gary across from us. He's got, I don't know what he's got across from him, but it's beautiful up there. He is not wrong.
40 degrees. That's a lot of shrinkage going on. That's why I wouldn't go in the water.
It's pretty dang big lake. So
yeah.
Anyway, so we do have those moments, and if what we are focused on is the negative, if what we are focused on is, oh my gosh, poor me, it's gonna make it that much harder. So we're going to talk about how to kind of shift that focus, what things we've shifted our focus to help us get out of that poor me moment, and just take your questions and some of your comments and see how you guys have done this as well. So should be a good morning. All 3 people watching.
They're all my best friends, so it works fine for me.
That's true. You want to pray us in?
I sure will. Good morning, Lord. We thank you for this Monday. We thank you that the sun rises and falls each day. Lord, help us today celebrate your faithfulness to us. Help us, each one of us, Lord. Help us focus as business owners, as technicians, as managers, to serve our community, serve our customers, and serve our people. Lord, I lift up Jeremy to you today, and we thank you for his fellowship and friendship. We thank you for his marriage and I believe anniversary, and Jeremy being a great dad. And so, Lord, we lift up all the fathers to you, and we just pray that you continue to give us the energy to love our children, to give them grace, but to hold them accountable and to teach them and shape them to the men and women that we want them to be. And we praise all this to you, Lord Jesus. Amen.
Amen. Do we just become best friends?
I sent you the membership card and you sent it back. Don't lie. You know you're part of the Shear family now.
Yeah, that's funny right there. Yeah, so when we have these moments of the sky is falling, everything is garbage, what are we supposed to do? Like, how, man, it is really hard to shake that. Have you found that, like, it's just so easy to focus on that negative when that's coming instead of like taking the shift, or are you the glasses full and let's rock and roll kind of guy?
I am, and I feel like, there's enough people in my life that do all that other stuff. So for me, it's about pivoting a lot. And I think shifting gears, moving into a different direction, be willing and flexible to change your plan helps you stay focused. So that's been what January to June 19th has been for the appliance industry, hasn't it?
All of 23, really. I mean, all of 23 was, everyone expected January. One thing, and we're back to normal.
Yeah. No, I mean, I didn't think that I would still have the time and energy to continue to devote into training up our leaders and having our leaders coach and direct and prepare our technicians for the busy season. I was doing that in March, hoping for a busy April, like it was last year, and that didn't come. So it just means that we push out the dates, but to get more intensely focused on the stuff that we know. What do we wish could be better when all hell breaks loose and we don't have any control, because we're in responsive mode, and basically if you're a car racing fan, you're in the race, so we just have more time to prepare, right?
Yeah, no, I love it. It he killed my good morning. Well, I'll have to listen to it. I don't pay attention to the podcast when I'm not on, mostly because I have to run every single morning now. So it's I'm out the door 7:00 every morning now.
Wow.
I'll have to check it out though. But yeah, no, it's a good time to prepare when you have those moments. How have you shifted your team's focus when they get stuck in the negative, when they get stuck in the whether it's busy or slow? How have you kind of helped guide your teams back into the focus that you're looking for?
Well, part of our code of values and the way that we want to do business here is that no one really can come and just drop a load of junk in front of someone's lap and say, hey, this is messed up. They kind of need to come to us with, the issue, deliver the frustration, please. And then what's your best recommendation from your standpoint? So, I mean, that's just a small thing that always has to happen. And I think that can slowly rub off on people to help them become problem solvers instead of people who come and whine, But yeah, my poor leaders and managers hoping that we were going to be farther along. And then to see them frustrated that it's so slow, right? Like we really ramped up and had more CSRs answering phones than we've ever had before. And for the last month or so, they've been kind of sitting around for big chunks of the day, not doing anything. So again, pivot and focus. So it's like, all right, were these 4 new call takers? What were you planning to do with them over the next year? Well, teach the script make them make sure that they can help our customers well. All right, what were you going to do after that? Well, I was hoping to cross train them into different tasks of the business, and I wasn't sure if this person and this person could do that. And I said, well, isn't this a great time to explore that? They're like, oh, I see, I gotcha.
Yeah.
So it's really about just pivoting and getting back to what iron can you sharpen while we're in this flux right now.
Love it. How are you training up your techs at this juncture? Are you getting to train your techs?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we brought on a second service manager because our focus was on not just getting them on the road and hoping that they eventually catch on to the kind of level of excellence that we want. So we knew that we had to put our money where our mouth is. So with the second service manager, we've been able to do training. So like, for instance, we've just hired 3 technicians in the last month and a half or so. And so we have one more that's sort of riding along and training on the software. And we're hoping to get them on the road the next week or two, but they're going to need a lot of help, a lot of support. So yeah, I thought that was going to be chaos, but gosh, when it does finally get busy here, I think our guys are going to be able to really kill it and take care of the business. Yeah.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So what are the other things that you found leading a business are important to focus on? Like, how do you continually reshift your focus as you need to? I ask as someone who, the entire pre-roll, my office is a mess and I'm focused on something else and trying to bring my focus back to preparing. So how do you shift that focus? What are some of your strategies?
Well, regularly meeting with people on all levels are pretty important. The mental health of people. I find that employees, there's a significant percentage of them that will just bottle it up and keep it to themselves. And that's hard to handle because then they come to you really bent out of shape. And if you can re-straighten them, it's going to take a while. So we have to continue to meet, whether it's over the phone or Zoom for 10 minutes or 20 minutes, just to check in. We got to do a lot of check-ins, right? Zach, you doing check-ins at your place, or you guys still doing process, procedure, and infrastructure?
No, it's a little bit of everything. So I'll check in with the teams. I'll check in with the salesman. I check in with the salesman every single day. I check in with the other 2 guys. We went to the baseball game. We went to the Cubs game Wednesday night.
Nice.
Wednesday into Thursday. It was a late game. We got back at like 12:30 or whatever. But I chatted with each of them. So I chatted with the owner's son, we're grooming up to become the lead of the installers. And then I chatted with our cabinet designer and kitchen remodeler, our general contractor of the group. Chatted with him just to see where he's at. And I chatted with our salesman and just trying to gauge where everyone's at and how can I better equip each of them. What do they feel like is missing? What do they feel like they need encouragement in? And some of that is subtle, right? So asking the questions, because if I came up to you and said, well, how can I encourage you? You may or may not be able to answer that question, right? But
that's overwhelming.
If I ask a bunch of questions, I can figure out how to encourage you and build you up and whatever. So, but basically every day I'm checking in with him for an hour, and then everyone else. It's sporadic throughout the week, but I do check in with people multiple times throughout the week, and then myself, like I have to be checked in on. Last week I wandered in the back. I could not be up front anymore, and I walked to our neighbor and said, "Dude, I just need a leadership thing. Walk me through this. I need a vent, and then I need you to go, okay, congratulations, suck it up, and here's how we're moving on." And so getting that mentorship, right? As a leader, you need to be checking in with your groups right? Your mastermind groups, your accountability partner, whatever, like you need to be challenging and growing as a leader yourself. Because you can't pour in. I've said this for years. You cannot pour from an empty cup. If you are empty as a leader, you got nothing to give your team. So you got to get
right. And focus. Your usually focus is driven, I think, by the leader. By the guy driving the bus. There's 3 feelings that I can have throughout the year, whether it's at home or at work, which is you've got that time, like, okay, so when the busy season does come, it's kind of an analogy would be you're actually performing on stage. You've practiced, you've rehearsed, you know your mark, and now you're doing what you've been preparing for. That's a good feeling. So it's hard work, and it can be a little bit of a grind, but all your preparation is leading you to that moment. Then there's the time when you're making goals, planning, setting goals, and daily, weekly, monthly, whatever they are. And when you're hitting them, you're being encouraged. It's almost like being pushed on a swing. You're feeling this momentum building, right? And then there's that icky feeling when you lose focus and you're kind of just floating around and you don't have a real purpose. You have things you're doing, but you don't feel like they're driving you in a particular direction. And that's a place I don't like to be. I feel like I was on the cusp of it before vacation. So I'm feeling very motivated to hit the ground running, get my Todoist app out and get the goals updated, set some dates on them, and prepare to miss the dates and reset the dates. But and start getting that momentum back that I was starting to lose.
And you bring up a great point there. Get some rest. One of the best ways to get focus is to rest. We've talked about rest before, and so many of us can be not good at that or not effectively resting. We're still looking at the phone. We're still checking socials. We're still, the office is still calling us. You need to take at least a day, and that phone is boop off. Right. And just get that true recharge, because it does help you focus. It does help you lead better. Right. Especially when it feels like the sky is falling. Those are the times that you need that reset and recharge. For sure.
My first day on vacation, all of a sudden I'm getting a couple texts and phone calls, and I call in and I just feel like everybody's lost the confidence and they're floating around on a couple tasks that I know that they're equipped to handle. And I'm like, what is going on? And if I were to live in that moment for more than a minute or so, my week would have been shot, my vacation. So again, equipping and preparing and training. And when I leave, I have total confidence in them, but it was just ironic that Monday, it's like this angry customer, like, why am I know they can handle this angry customer. What is going on? And you can hear discouragement already on a Monday. That's kind of Murphy's Law, right? That's Satan attacking. But I'm pretty good at just flipping that switch back off and thinking, unless the building burns down, I think we're going to be all right when I get back. And it'll be interesting to see where we're at. And by the end of the week, someone checked in and the spirit was better and everybody was firing. And when I came in this morning, they were smiling at me. So that means they still like me, which is good.
That is good.
But but you got to shut down. And I know it's not easy for everybody to do that. It is something that I can do well. So that means that if you're not, you need to come up with tricks to trick yourself, right? Whether that's to have the phone completely unavailable or only check it when you be the one checking it when you want to. Turn the phone off. Don't check your emails. You check it once and you decide before your break, what am I going to react to? What level is my reaction point happening? So everything below that, you can look at it if you want, but don't spend a second on it and recharge, right?
I love that mindset. You kind of glossed over your mindset, so I'm gonna highlight that. That is important for focus and for your own mental health, right? Doug did not come riding in as a superhero. Doug's like, man, I know these people are capable of it. I know they got this. I don't have to be the hero. How can I help them solve it? So you kind of quickly glossed over that, but I feel like that is, as you're building these teams, as you're helping your teams focus, as you're gaining your own focus, it's important to remember, like, you're not the only one. You're not the superhero. You don't have to be. That's why we build teams. That's why we have masterminds. That's why there are accountability partners. We have these people that we can lean on, and kind of shifting that mindset into us versus me will help you maintain that focus and move forward.
I used to think it was impressive, right, Zach? I've shared this once before, at least on these podcasts, that going to an ASTI and my phone's blowing up and people are asking me questions and I'm saving the day. You know, how naive was I to think that that was a sign of me being an effective leader? It really is every single day, whether it's busy or slow season. If it's you as an owner with one technician and one CSR, make sure you teach them and empower them to be the best version of yourself. I have a friend online here, and he says that, you know, he has a great CSR, but when he's answering the phones, he takes one day off to work in the office. He can seal every phone call to a book job. And he's like, how can my CSR know what to say when I have over 20 years of experience? Great point. But why don't you make sure you continue to impart as much of that wisdom in a frequently asked question sheet? Teach them, accept them, you know, where they're at, and set the bar a little bit higher and let them, they'll never be you. But do you really want to wear all those hats? Because there's no way you can do that forever. So your focus needs to be on empowering anyone that works for you to be the best version of yourself.
You know, and for our non-business owners, right? Doug and I are not business owners at this moment. We are in the second seat. We are the best. We are the first, second seat. Yeah. We'll go with that. So we are driving the bus, you know, but we don't own the bus. We are driving the bus, and we are leading the teams. And so, if you are in that seat where you are not the owner of the company, how are you challenging others behind you to be better? How are you equipping them? How are you building them up? How are you helping them focus? Right. So everything Doug and I are talking about is from that perspective, but as the business owner, you can do the same thing. If you're the technician, if you're the CSR, and maybe you don't have a title, maybe you are not, you know, like lead or whatever, how are you helping the rest of the team? How are you building up the team and helping them focus? Are you giving into the water cooler talk? Are you giving into the, oh, this is crap, and, you know, are you complaining by the water cooler? Or are you actually doing something to make things better? Right. It's a challenge. It's easy to give in when everyone around you, you know, that peer pressure. Everyone wants to complain. Everyone wants to grumble.
Well, you triggered so many memories of my career where, I worked at a company that the turnover rate was really high and everybody was complaining. And I did too, a little bit, but it just showed me an opportunity to figure out what their pain points were and try to avoid them. So it was like, you know, hey, I'm going to talk to the dispatcher and let them know the way I like to be routed around Springfield, Massachusetts, so that, and if they're willing to hear me, then I don't have to go through what that guy went through, instead of just complaining about it. Right. And then all of a sudden, you know, I become the dispatcher because I'm adding value to a problem that is company wide. Right. So it just increases your value. If you're an employee, a technician, or a CSR listening, that's, if where you work, they don't want your input from your vantage point, it's probably the wrong place to work. And it might be okay, and it might be rewarding financially in the moment, but start looking now. get the heck out, because you want to work at a place where they value your perspective. And if you have great ideas, anybody who runs a great company wants those types of people. This is grouchiest people on the entire earth salt, and you have them come in every day at Marcone. Oh my gosh, your ears must be bleeding at times.
Tale as old as time, song as old as rhyme.
That's right.
Technicians complaining. Good night. And we say this as former technicians ourselves. Like we know what the reality is, and that's why we're encouraging you to be better. And if you're the owner out there going, did you just tell my employees to find somewhere new? Yes. Look in the mirror. How are you leading your team? If you have members of your team that are grumbling, if you have members of your team realizing they don't want my input, they don't care what I have to say, you got to take that hard look in the mirror and you got to make a 180, because you're heading down an ugly path. Been there, done that.
It's not an easy task either.
Call. Right.
It's not an easy task, Zach, because at least a third of the stuff they bring to you is things.
When the technicians start talking. Yeah.
No, I mean, God, let's be real about this, though. There's going to be like a third of the stuff that the overall group of your employees, and if you only have one employee and he's a big whiner, then all of it, there might be nothing you can do about it. And then as a business owner, then if this person can't look past his nose and understand that you did your best version and that his input can help, as a business owner, you should get rid of that employee as well.
I've had those employees. Deuces. Yeah. Bye.
Yeah.
You ain't
and
happy.
You know what? And I'll tell you something. You know what's a lot of fun is to get a great idea from someone in your team, and then make that happen and give them the credit. Right? Just say, Scott brought this up, and it was a great idea. So we've done this, and thank you so much, Scott. I mean, that just recognition is something that most people love and want to see and hear. And a lot of bitterness. So if you don't focus on that encouragement and recognition, you're going to just be attrition. You're going to start to lose people on the fringe that are not feeling loved and supported.
And I think all of that is perfect, right? Like you need to focus on the giving credit where credit is due. Like they come up with that. Praise them, reward them, whatever. I'm working with Matt right now. Like, well, it's, I don't care whose fault it is. I don't care who came up with the idea. We're a team. No, that's crap. Celebrate the person.
That's right.
Celebrate them. Seriously.
Right.
And if they screwed up, hey, here's how you screwed up. Here's how we can make it better. What do you think we can do to make this better? Like, how do we make that not happen? It's not about like, it's your fault. No, it's that sucks. All right, so how do we fix that? Like, do you have an idea on how to fix that? Here's my thoughts on how to fix that. And exactly what you said. You know what? So-and-so came to me and they had this great idea, and I think we're going to implement this as a team. So like everyone rock on. Let's round of applause for so-and-so because people crave that, right? They want that recognition that they did a good job. Praise in public, correct in private.
Yeah, absolutely.
So when it's someone's fault, take them in the office. Hey, here's what happened. Here's why that can't happen. So what are your thoughts on how to make this better? What are your thoughts on preventing this in the future? How do we as a team grow? And those are like you have to have those moments of focus. If you just like brush it to the side, if you ignore it, it's going to get worse. It's going to grow. Like you do have to take those moments to go, you know what? This sucks. Let's fix that.
Yeah. I've done that too. It's not good. Working for that balance, right? Matter of fact, I'll tell you now, I'm feeling a little anxious, not because of this morning's podcast, but even before that, for the last 2 or 3 months, focusing on systems and things like better health insurance, but process, procedure. I've I've kind of been there more than I have in the relationship side with more than just the leaders of the company. So I'm feeling like those technicians and CSRs who haven't heard from me in a while, who I have not been in a meeting because I'm doing other things, that balance is off kilter. They need to hear from me to get my encouragement, to get my vision directly from me instead of through my managers. So I gotta even that thing out a little bit over the next month or so.
Leave it to Saul to sort through my ADHD and word it in the way that should have been worded, and I was trying to word it. Thank you, Saul.
Yeah.
I blame no one. I use the mistakes as training opportunities to make our teams better. That is the mindset that I am talking about. You do that in private, though. You do that in private. The implementation to make the team better is in public, but you're not highlighting that person and where they went wrong. You do that in private.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then the solution comes out in public.
That's a great translation, by the way, of his native language. He did an awesome job with that, Saul. That was really good. Your prepositions were in the right place and everything. So,
and translating from ADHD extraordinaire, fantastic translation. So,
that's funny.
So, guys, at the top, regional meetup, July 22nd, Richmond, Virginia. Register at servicealliancegroup.com. If you are an all access member, make sure you log in before you register. There is a discount for our all access members. So don't.
There's still hotel room space. You guys block out hotels? Okay.
We do. There is still a little bit of space left. Make sure you get your registration in. I'll be there. The rest of the team, TK, EJ, Mike, we will all be there.
I'll put that in the Google Translator after. Yeah.
Wow. It's all in fun. All in fun.
Of course.
No, but make sure you register. It's going to be a great time to help you level up your business. Even if you're just if you're not the owner, you're a leader in the company, it's a great chance for you to come get some business ideas and learn how to help lead your teams better. So perfect opportunity to come out and level up your business. So Doug, are you ready to tackle Monday?
I'm writing down my goals right now because they'll be gone in 3 seconds. So yeah.
Guys, have a good day. Enjoy this Monday. Get out there and crush it. Love those customers well. And we'll see you next time on the morning grind. Bye, guys.